we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right.
Good morning. I'm just going around. I've finished up my coffee. All of our animal chores have been started. Well, I should say finished. And I'm going around checking the garden to see what's going on before I spend the weekend on the couch. What's really cool, guys, is my garlic has already sprouted and it's a significant size. I'm very, very happy about that. And it'll overwinter in this area. And we'll have really nice big garlic bulbs in early summer, late spring. So, but we've got a lot growing right now and I'm very, very happy about it. So let's see, can you see that garlic in there? It's down in there. I don't know, can y'all see that? Am I doing this right? But yeah, that's the garlic. One of the things that is new to me this year is growing lima beans. There are certain beans out there that are really easy on your digestive system, and lima beans is one of those, and they grow really well in this area. So I wanted to grow some. I planted these very late, so I was really hoping to be able to get a harvest before our first frost. We have not had our first frost, and which is really, really nice, to be honest. And I'm gonna start picking some of the lima beans. Not all of them are ready, but a lot of them are. What I read as far as knowing how to harvest them, because you don't, oh, this is ready. And they're kind of thick when you see them. You see that? As opposed to one that still is developing. This one, see, it's kind of thin. You can see that there are beans in there, but they're not quite developed yet. Whereas this is more plump. What I read said that lima beans set all their fruit at the same time. Or a plant sets all their fruit at the same time. And you would think if they do that, then all of them on that one plant would be ready to harvest at the same time. And that's what I'm finding is not necessarily the case. So what I'm gonna do is go through and pick all the ones that are ready, and we will shell those and then let them dry out for the next couple of days so we can store them. I don't know if you guys can see how prolific. I mean, this plant right here, you see it in, let's see if I can get in the ground here. Yeah, so that plant right there, that's one seed. And it produces this big old thing here. And they're very, very prolific. I got these lima beans from Baker Creek. I mean, look at that. That's a lot. And yeah, I'll definitely grow these again. as you can see, these guys are like planted super close together. I planted these according to the package instructions, and I won't do them like this next year. This is a bushing variety. I thought at first it was going to be a climbing variety. I thought that I had bought a climbing variety. Then I thought that it was mislabeled as a bushing variety, and then it was a climbing variety. But I was wrong. It is a bushing variety. And now that I know what they look like, next year I will plant these in different spaces, and I'll probably plant them throughout each of the beds and throughout the yard in general. They're very pretty plants. They keep flowering. I mean, you can see that. The bees love them. So they're really great for pollinators. And what I'll probably do is just succession plant. They're great to direct sow. I just planted them right where I wanted them, and they sprouted within a few days, and they've grown. It does take a while for the fruit to set. But it's definitely, I got it in before our first frost. So for that, I'm really, really happy about. But definitely don't be afraid to experiment in your garden. Like I said, this was the first time that I grew lima beans, and I'm glad that I did. I watched it. I learned a lot from this particular variety. And next year I know more about how I want to put these in my yard. This was an empty spot in my garden bed after I pulled mustard out of it that had died off. And what I'm doing now is, and then I went ahead and planted the lima beans, and just watched them. Anytime you plant something you don't really know about, don't plant tons of things. Now, granted, I did plant a ton of plants here because, you know, that's kind of, sometimes I overdo it. But I think I planted 25 plants. Everything germinated. And as you can see, again, these are very prolific. There's tons of bean pods all over this. So what I was hoping, because they say all the fruits set at the same time, was that they would pretty much be developed all at the same time, and you could just pull one plant out completely and then harvest it. But that doesn't seem to be the case. So we're gonna harvest what's ready, or finish up harvesting what's ready to shell. And then the rest of it we're gonna leave on, and hopefully in another week or so before the first frost, we can come out here and finish pulling off whatever else is on the plant. And hopefully by then those will be ready, because there are little bitty beans in there. They're just not quite developed for eating yet.
It's Christmas. We got 3.
You want to try one? I tried one the other day. It was really, it was good.
I want to crack.
Ugh.
Green part doesn't taste good.
The green part, no, doesn't taste good at all, but the seed itself does. Eat it.
Where'd the seeds go?
In her mouth.
What'd you think? Yeah, they're better with butter on them.
They're beans. Huh? Let me do one.
Those are good. She didn't really like them.
It tastes like something you ate before,
Yeah.
like a
Snap
lima
peas.
bean,
No, snap peas.
snap peas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only the pods.
Yeah.
These
Beans
guys,
taste
just
like
so you know, like this, like if you want to think that you can eat this like you would eat a sugar snap pea, it does not taste good. Just so you know.
Beans taste good.
The beans themselves taste good, but the overall consensus is if you ate this whole thing, it wouldn't be yummy. Okay, so we've come in, and honestly, guys, I'm gonna be straight up honest, so y'all don't think that I do everything in one day. We're not gonna go through all of these today. We'll probably do this a little bit later, but I want to show you, guys, really what they look like inside. And you just push the pods open. I have a lot of little hands that will be helping me throughout this process, so it's not going to be that big of a deal for us. And so, but yeah, they come open, and you got your little lima beans in here, aka butter beans if you live in the South. I'm sure they're maybe called butter beans elsewhere too, right? And so, but we'll set these out on the countertop and let them dry so that way I can store them for a while. These are some of the smaller ones. So this is like the pods that aren't quite ready. Let me show you what is ready. Actually, these are probably over ready. Or you can see that these are getting a little bit more color on them. This was a huge one that I did. And then this is like the perfect lima bean that you would want. So you can tell. So, yeah. These are starting to get, they might be a little bit more what you would describe as woody. We'll still cook them, but great lima bean size here. Maybe a little too woody here because the seeds that I got were beautiful seeds. They had all these purple on them, which means that the plant had gone to seed. So those are things that you don't necessarily want to eat.
The seed just broken. What in the world?
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want to save that.
Yeah, the seed just broke.
But you can see the color on these. Some of these plants we're going to let go to seed. Hopefully we can get that harvested before the frost, which we have not had yet. I keep watching the weather to see when that happens, but we've had a nice warm spell this week, which I know not a lot of people are crazy about, but especially my husband. He was hoping it was gonna be nice and cool, but the weather's definitely had him down and out. So, but I'm glad because it's given all my stuff a nice chance to germinate. And you can see here, the lima beans. This is really cool. This is the first time we've done this. And I specifically chose lima beans to grow for my first bean.
Beautiful this one is.
Yeah. And see the purple on them? They're really pretty. I chose these specifically so that way I could, because they grow well here. And we need things that are easy to digest, and lima beans are not as hard on your digestive system as some of the other beans are. So yeah. All right, if you want to keep up with us, definitely subscribe to the channel. That helps us out. We would love to eventually have our channel monetized, and for that we need 1,000 subscribers and a whole bunch of watch hours. So if you don't mind subscribing, even if you could care less about what we do, just subscribe. That would be great. And putting out these videos is a lot of work, but we hope to put out a whole lot more because we have learned a whole lot that we would love to share, specifically for suburban farmers, people who don't think that they can really do this kind of stuff in their yard. You can, I promise you can. I didn't know what I was doing when I started at all. And so I did things like watch YouTube videos, and I still watch those same people to this day. I've subscribed to their channels because they've given me a wealth of knowledge, and then I get notifications when they have new videos out, and that way I don't have to keep checking. Also, if you will share anything that you find interesting, I'm not going to ask you to share just this video because it may not be that interesting to you or anybody else you know. But if you don't mind sharing our videos, that would be great because that helps us out a lot. And you are literally not spending a dime on this, but it helps us out because we would love to put out more videos, but it is a lot of work. And on a side note, on a celebratory side note, I had my last chemo 2 days ago. So I'm really excited. I should be regaining strength. This weekend's gonna be really rough on me. Each one has been harder to get through. I already started experiencing side effects yesterday, the day after my chemo, and that's not normal. And the fatigue has hit very hard today. So we're gonna just push through this last week, rest a whole lot, have a lot of grace with myself and my abilities to do things. My kids are great at helping out and picking up where we have left off. I have a wonderful friend bringing me dinner tomorrow night, so I don't have to worry about that because Saturdays are typically my worst days. So, but hopefully from now, I just start regaining strength, slowly rebuilding my body back up after being poisoned. But the goal of that was to poison the cancer, and the doctors are very optimistic that we have killed the cancer. So I'm going to be optimistic. We will find out officially after I have surgery, and surgery will be the week before Thanksgiving, and I will get my pathology report back about 2 weeks later, and we will fully know what chemo did to my cancer. So again, thank you all for watching. I just wanted to give you all that little side note because I know that you all are keeping up with that too. And I thank you for that. And have a good weekend, guys. We'll see you all, maybe not next week. I'm gonna have a lot of grace with myself and not try to do a lot, but definitely the following week. And I hope to be putting out more videos, and hopefully the weather will be a little bit cooler. So my husband is like, hey, I wanna come outside and do some of those projects that we need to get done. Thanks, guys. See? Super pretty.
It's just.
It didn't just even started. That was us recreating the opening of the pod that I thought I videoed. Yeah, for the third time.